Let's see. Why is this still showing? Okay. Oh, yes, I can hide. Does this candle represent what happened today to you guys?
Yep.
I mean, if you saw see a daily candle like this, would you guys agree that the price action we had was literally this, what we saw? Like this daily candle here?
I would say,
The
yeah.
decision candle.
Not necessarily. There's some body on it. It is in the comparison to other candles we've had, but a true indecision candle, I would say, need more.
What time frame are
Smaller.
you on?
I don't
I'm on
remember a day
daily.
like this for a
Isn't
while.
it crazy? I don't remember,
Yeah.
but guys, this day is just as bad right here. Right? This day, isn't it identical day right here? Like this one right here? Isn't it identical candle like this one?
To me, yeah.
Yeah, to me, I never felt like this in a while. And I don't know why. I just can't, I don't have a reasoning behind it because I've seen these. I went today and I looked at these charts and I'm like, it happened here, a little bit less. We had some here and this one. I mean, and something about today, I really can't explain it. I don't know. That's why I was just wondering, see how you guys felt about it because it just threw me off a lot.
Was
The
one of those
candle
other ones
shape.
an FOMC day or a CPI day?
I don't know. I'll have to check. I haven't done that, but that's a pretty good
Yeah,
question.
because there was like no real catalyst today other than that
Yeah,
Bitcoin weird
nothing.
shit.
Yeah. And my friend getting busted for $3.5 billion. Yeah, that's pretty good. All right, so let's see smaller time frames. I was looking for a particular chart that I had before on buyers and sellers exhaustion that happened today, right here, from here to here, and then we accumulated. I just can't think about which book. I think it was Pivot Boss. I'll have to check back. Do you recall that, Dumpster? Like you go up, you have a kind of. You consolidate here. As soon as you break it, then you dump. It's basically, buyers not willing to go above a certain price. And same thing happened today, which
Yeah, I
was
don't
here
recall.
in smaller time frames. I don't know if somebody does, but did I share this with you guys before? I thought I had a drawing where it was like this. I'm pretty sure I did. It was like this. Does anyone recall? No? Somebody needs to go on mute. Anyways, so same concept happened today. If you guys look here, right here, up to here, and then here's this guy. And then, of course, we had this really good V-shaped recovery. I mean, we went over 61.8. I think we tapped 78.6 today. Let's see. Yep, we tapped 78.6, and then we kind of lost 30 points from there, or 20 points. So then we caught some of this move up, right? Once we started breaking the 3850, which was kind of confluence level, the rundown VAL, we also had some VPOCs at 3847.25. So once we broke that, I was pretty certain that they're going to start pulling towards the 3866, which was also one of the levels that we had. And they tapped that perfectly twice. So here we were giving, hey, is this the top? No. Well, the top potential increased here because now you have double top, right? And then if you guys check the volume here, and I hope newer people, I don't know how many are on a call here. And I'm putting some slides directly from Anna Cooling book for you guys, just to kind of start understanding the volume on the bottom and then the volume profile. When you put them together, it becomes really, really powerful, guys. Hold on, somebody needs to go mute. Cuban, bud, you're muted. So when
Somebody
you put
keeps
this
unmuting
together,
Cuban. He needs to mute his own mic. He can't be unmuted unless he mutes himself.
well, I can server mute him, right? Nobody can.
Yeah, no. I server muted him. I think we both did it at exactly the same time. But I had already
Okay.
muted him and somebody unmuted him. So.
Well, don't unmute him anymore. Whoever is doing it.
Yeah.
Anyways, so now if you guys start looking at the volume as you're going up, at first, you pay attention right here. We're going up and we're picking up, right? I mean, I would say that, the smaller bar, bigger, weird candle doesn't have a big body. But something was wrong to begin with right here. And then, picked up more volume, bigger candle, but then the trouble starts, right? So if you guys start looking at this a little bit more, this body spread, right, is bigger than the previous one. Would you guys agree?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. So as you're going, then you're pushing higher. You guys remember if you read the Wyckoff book, right, the 2.0, what does he talk about? Effort and result. Does anyone know? Or what's his theory on that, Dumpster?
You have to have, well, it takes effort to get results.
That's
Basically pretty straight up.
That's correct. That's exactly right. It takes effort to have results. But if this body of the candle, the result's pretty good, but the effort, is it following?
No.
Sunflower, does that make sense? This is
Yeah.
not following. We need to
Bullish
see more
volume
volume.
anomaly.
Bearish, not bullish.
Sorry,
Bearish.
bearish, yeah.
And then
Yeah,
you're
I was
seeing
actually
here.
watching that as it played out today. Sorry.
Yep. No, that's good. I'm glad you guys are starting to notice this because it becomes really important. A lot of these anomalies in volume, because when you have a volume anomaly in effort and result, what do you guys think happens in price action? Like what happens behind the doors? Well, remember, it's about liquidity. The buyer's liquidity has to match the seller's liquidity. And I've shown you before, there's times in the market when we literally don't have any liquidity, but we either move up or drop down. How's that possible?
Good question. About to know.
Manufacturer.
They can do that because they have the ability to say, yeah, we'll fill that a little bit later. Right? So as they're going up, guys, how we have the DOM. We have the DOM and it's filling. Well, what they do is they can hop the price and manipulate it, even though if the ask here, let's say, was for the purposes of this was 1, let's say 555. Well, maybe they just gap that over with purchase of 3. They still have a missing liquidity that they will have to fill at these prices, meaning the market's going to say you have to come back to these prices and give me that liquidity back. Well, now I'm just giving you clues on what you should start looking at some of this. Would you guys say after this candle, the liquidity even got worse? Would you guys
Shorty on
say
the
the anomaly got worse here or better?
Worse.
It got worse, right?
Yeah, it's worse because especially it looks like it's flat across the volume on the bottom then for those 3 bars.
Start practicing this when you guys have time, when you're charting and spending some screen time. When you find a volume anomaly and when you see a first, big body spread candle, then you find one that's worse than that one, draw a line to the right of it and see what happens, where the price goes. Was that unusual? We came back right to it to fill that void that they left.
Makes a lot of sense.
Came back drastically to it.
Oh yeah, you pulled it. You were there, and then they filled it, and then they filled this gap as well because this was also wrong. They came back, they filled it, and this one also was filled here, both times.
Shorty, one question on manufacturing this. Even if they jump couple of points and grab the next strike price, essentially then they are acting at that point as aggressive buyers or sellers, isn't it?
Yes, they're manipulating the market.
Okay. But
What
in
if
order
the
to
market
go to
makers need? Well, if the market maker needs to push the price up because of the max pain, and let's say he doesn't have the shares and he doesn't want to borrow at cost. Because
Mhm.
sometimes when you don't have shares, you borrow, right? Especially heavily shorted stock. What's the borrow expense rate on AMC? If somebody can Google it on the shares, right? And it's probably really high, right? So you have
GMC
these
was
pension funds.
137 when that happened.
Exactly. So the cost of borrowing shares goes higher. So they're like, man, screw it. They do it, and then the market knows that this hedge fund or this has to get those shares, right? So instead of the guy borrowing shares right here, he's going to patiently wait, and market makers will drive the market to that point to make it less expensive for themselves. They will manipulate. They will trigger. They know the algos, the levels, or whatnot, right? I don't know the technical, how they do it, because it's impossible to know, but this is what they do. Fundamentally, when they leave, like an imbalance of volume like this, they're going to come back and fill it. And I promise every time they will come back and fill it. Like right now, they're going to fill this one here. And you're doing this right at the supply, right? They're going to fill this guy right here, I promise, tonight. This is going to be filled here. Just pay attention. So here you have a big candle. You have this candle probably aligned. It matches. And then you have this candle. If this candle has the same body as this one, then it makes this one an anomaly. Right? And then you see here, nice candle sell-offs, confirmations. Okay.
So,
hopefully you
Shorty,
guys
if,
Mhm.
I was going to ask, if you know that it's going to go there, why wouldn't you just take a short on MES and,
Where do
set
I
the
take
appropriate?
this short?
Well, I'm just asking, like, why,
Well,
if you
think
know
about
it's going to
this.
go there?
What if they manipulate it higher to 3,900 and I take a short here?
More money, yeah.
Well, I
Your
have
risk reward
to
has
have
to
a
do.
yeah. I mean, for me, I'm gonna be a lot down before I make a little bit.
Okay, yeah, the drawdown. That makes
So
sense.
the drawdown is big. If you had unlimited funds, let's say you had a couple of $1 billion where you can move the needle. I mean, sure, you can. How many times you see a random flow order come in at a wrong price level, and you're like, dude, like, why did he buy? Like the other day, Tesla had 250 puts, I believe, for March 2023, which was like $20 million. And everybody's like, what? Well, those puts are now 20 million. They're worth $140 million.
Oh,
Hey, can you explain that anomaly concept again?
Yep. I will send you guys exactly what I'm putting together here for you guys. You will guys understand it. You'll just have to go through these 4 or 5 slides and you will understand it completely.
and the Bowling's
So I
book.
put that in there and you guys will be good. But basically the volume anomaly concept is the effort and result have to match. If you're moving up, and it's all about the body spread of the candle, like the body, and the wicks. You want to make sure if the big body is there, well, you want to see the result as well. You want to see the candle and the volume matching. And when you're going down, you want to see the same thing. So right as you're coming down here, you have probably the second biggest volume here. And this is, right from open. Well, this is Tuesday. What day is today? It's Tuesday. So here, right at open, you have a big red candle, and then you break that, and that's pretty good volume. Usually, like the first candle, I'm on 10 minutes here. Usually, the first and last candle in 5 minutes, I don't put a lot of emphasis on it because they can manipulate that with MOCs and late orders, not to mess up the market. So I don't pay much attention to them. So this one I would ignore 9:30. Here I would kind of start looking at the candles to make sure. So basically, when you see a candle like this, you see, especially multi-candles, like 1, 2, 3, here you have 4. This makes sense. Look at this, small candle, small volume, right? Let me make this small candle, Bigger candle, bigger volume. Then a much bigger candle and much bigger volume. And then you see smaller candle, smaller volume. And then you see something unusual here. You see pretty good selling volume, but you see a gravestone doji.
Oops.
I posted something in the Discord earlier.
Is it
for you
a
guys to-
stopping volume?
Well,
Stopping
let
volume.
me see where I put it. I put it under the pin bars. Doesn't that look like that? So if you guys think about it, gravestone doji, you know, you open and then you have the selling pressure. And they're selling, and then the buyers show up all of a sudden and they push it all the way up. Right? So if you look at this, that's exactly what happens here. But it's meaning that there's going to be a potential bounce as soon as you break this level. But did they ever, on this run up, break the candle prior to that?
Nope.
Nope.
They never got there.
No, and I'll say something. Yeah, that's something I heard. Like when you see a candle with a long wick pointing in that direction, especially a wick like that, that should have been a big bounce.
Well, you know, here you should have seen some red, you know, kind of turning into green volume. If this showed up as green volume and it was bigger than this volume, what would that be? Somebody said it earlier.
Stopping volume.
It would have been stopping volume, right? So here it would be stopping volume when it's on opposite. What's it called?
Forgot.
Topping.
Topping. Yes.
Yeah. So you have stopping and topping volume on the top. Okay. So now, good job. Yeah. Dumpster nailed the next step. If I look at this price action here, let me do something here just for a moment. Let me go on ES here. So I don't want any indicators. Let me remove this. I just need volume. Okay. This is a really good day to study this, guys. There was a lot going on. So if you guys look at this, you know, chart, would you guys say that this was previous support here at all?
Yeah.
Would you guys call this candle at 1105 a support? This right here.
Yes.
Yes.
Just turn this on. If I'm boring you guys to death, you say something and we switch it up. Let's see, 1105.
No, this is good stuff.
Okay, so somehow, my ES on the other chart, why does it look different?
Yeah, different time frame.
Time frame.
I was on 3 minutes. I thought I was on 3
You were
minutes
3
here.
minutes,
Oh,
5
5. I thought I was
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
I was like, dude, why is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, yep. So now if you guys look, if you just take a look here for a moment, this is previous, you know, this was a top, right? And then, you know, some would call this, many were screaming today. I didn't want to say much. Yes, intraday bull flags, you know, it looks like a bull flag here. It looks like an ascending triangle that some of you guys would know, right? You have a top and you have higher lows until here, you're making lower lows. We broke that, and then you're coming back to this point again, and you're breaking that, you know. But look at the force you're breaking this with now. Compare the force that it took here to go up, and then compare the force it took to go down. Is it the same?
Totally different.
Different.
So I'm just gonna highlight this area so we get the same candles. And I'm just gonna go. Do you guys see the difference now, at least how I look at some of this stuff?
Yeah, big
You guys see
difference.
a drastic difference here at all?
Big difference.
So that means it's weak support.
Yeah. Weak support,
So
and it
that means it's
was,
strong resistance.
well, think carefully, that's not true. If it was a strong resistance, they wouldn't have broken this with a lot of less effort than they did.
And they broke it again towards the end.
And then if they really, if they really wanted to break this again, I got stopped 3 times today here in a matter of this run right here. 3 times I lost for about $400. But here, and then I kind of gave in threw a towel. And I said 3 trades in a row. That's it. Took one more, made mighty $12. And then I was like, okay, I'm done. But it was, hindsight. It's easy to notice something here. There's, is this really truly stopping volume? In my eyes, it's not. This volume here needed to pick up more volume than it did here. So we did not see that. But then they waited, and then the previous low, if this is our higher low, this is a higher low. Look what they did. They waited a little bit, and then they emptied out. Because this volume here, at 355, even though it's 5 minutes right before the close, not not my favorite, but they are emptying out right on a key level right there. So now it leaves you wondering, like, are we going down tomorrow or are we going up? Like, which way are we going to go now? Because they left it a really, really undecisive path. So now if you guys think about this, your New York session that we started. So it started here, right? We opened, I would say we opened right here, right? 38.25. If this is our open, right? And you broke the open, then you dump below it, you go below the low of the day, right? You dipped between here, initial balance low. You broke the initial balance high, and I don't know if this balance was truly set. We came back, retested it, bounced, broke it, and then we went higher, and we closed above the opening price. What does that mean? I mean, you had a really wide balance day. I would say pretty good balance day.
That means
So
we're
you
probably gonna
have
open above.
38.67 to 37.92. That's pretty good. Did you guys say that?
Yeah.
Almost looks like this day, doesn't it?
Hey, do me a favor. Go back to how you had the chart. We're expand it out a little bit and zoom back in for the day. All right, stop right there. I just kind of know something. I know, like, of course, not everything repeats itself. You can't base anything in the market the same thing as before. But look at around the pattern between 6 to about 9:30 opening. See how it kind of goes up, and then you got a tiny little up and down, and then another big up and
You
down.
talking about this?
Yep, and then look at it exactly right after close, the pattern.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well,
It's
because
almost
the
the exact
retail.
same.
Well, it's retail driving this, and what is, I would say 90% of the retail is what? Always bullish. I've never met a retail person that that's truly retail that hedges their position. I don't know if you guys did or not, but I rarely meet them where they buy this many calls and they look at their delta and exposure and they're like, man, I'm just gonna lower my delta exposure and do this. I don't think looks at it that way. They're like, man, I'm just gonna buy these Tesla calls because it looks good.
I'm just saying, like, the pattern there of those little bit up and downs looks almost very similar to how it acted as soon as the market
Yeah,
closed.
it's exactly here as well.
It's kind of
Because
weird. I
right
don't know.
now, well, it's not weird because they mess with your emotions this way. It's not weird at all. I'm glad you brought it up. In pre-market, they let you do whatever you want and with whatever you want it to go. So if they want to increase the the greediness level, they do this pre-market. They get you even more hyped up. I mean, how many people today thought 3,900 was happening? I am pretty certain all of Twitter was on 3,900. And then They sold it and dumped.
I was surprised.
Say it again.
That I was surprised as well.
Okay. Well, they do that. You know, your feelings are easily manipulated. People were probably, how many people were afraid to short here on the break of this?
I did. Still holding that. I should have sold it.
Hold on. What are you holding? Long?
Now I I got a put right at the breakout. Still have it, not for 5 but for IWM. It was a little more aggressive.
Yeah.
Or one.
I got in here first time, and then I mentioned 37.90, and Dumpster said no way.
Yeah, when I saw it going for about at least about an hour like that, I didn't know what it would do.
Yep. So hopefully now that you will look at it a little bit differently and think what could happen, right? You're looking at volume, you're confirming if these moves are actually making sense. Was there effort and the result, and is it being, you know, intraday level? You know, I'm looking at 5 minutes. If I want to look at the daily, you can definitely do that on daily as well. You know, same thing applies. It's just that your entries cannot be like, hey man, I'm gonna jump in 0DT. I saw volume anomaly. Volume anomalies can on dailies can go. I mean, we've seen them go for a very long time. I mean, we had this whole run up. I mean, look at this right here. This is from here to here. So this whole run up right here. And then
The
look,
July, August this year run was totally volume anomaly.
of this year.
This year, July 15th or 17th to August 15th.
Yeah, there it goes. Yeah, there's another one. This one confirms. This one had a little bit of stopping volume. This one is, you know, bullish volume anomaly here, and it played out. This one I would say is really a bearish volume anomaly, not really confirming the move.
I think in the weekly, if you see it, it will show you
Weekly is worse.
totally.
Yeah, weekly,
Yeah.
weekly usually shows, and these take time. I mean, look at this right here. This whole run up, and then they're telling you stuff here, right? They're selling a lot, and then they drove it up with a lot less volume. You know, you have 3 bars here from here to here. So once you break this level here, they came back to it, and they came back to it again right here, and then they filled it and proceeded lower. And a lot of volume picked up here. Even now, there's a lot of volumes on these weeks. If you guys notice, there's a lot of volume selling here. And this is your buying volume so far. Hopefully you guys see the same story that's developing here.
Yep.
Okay.
So does any of it actually exist then?
I'm not sure what you're asking me. What do you mean?
Well, when they're manipulating it, I mean, you got to have the liquidity, right? Or are they just like you said, they just making it hop over and they're just waiting to come back later for it to actually be there?
Yeah, sometimes they do that as you see it. I mean, they came back for the fix right after. So remember, there's never more buyers or sellers. If that stands true, eventually you have to match the liquidity you bought and sold has to match. And how you achieve that and how you get there is, you know, sometimes magic. Because you have those zero, you know, liquidity zones, and it's like, okay, well, how did you move that price? So here's right now. I just want to give you guys a live example, right? So do you guys see, who can tell me the story between here and here in volume? And then we'll update the levels. And honestly, guys, levels are not really important tonight on ES. I'm just being honest with you guys. There's, you know, tomorrow, the first announcement is going to be something about, you know, the voting, the results. We're going to get a big spike down, up. There's going to be whipsaw everywhere. So the levels is going to be more important that you understand this tomorrow and moving forward than anything else. I'd rather focus on this unless you guys want me to update literally 3 levels: PD, value area, low, high, and POC. Guys, we're still above October value area high. And I know that we need to break it close below 3,800, and look how quickly they acted today to bring us back above it immediately. Okay. So here, who can tell me the story right here of the volume?
So in the beginning, it's rising volume. It looks normal. Then it goes down with rising volume. Not
Goes
showing
down with
really.
rising volume.
Yeah, right at after the 2012, it looks like a doji star kind of.
Yep. Okay. So would you say that between these two candles, the volume confirms?
Nope.
No, because it's going down and the candles are still going up.
Between this candle and this candle, I'm talking about this to this. Does this volume agree here? This and this.
Yeah, they agree.
They agree, guys.
Yeah, agreeing here. Yeah. Next to there is a problem.
Small body candle, really small volume, right? You look at, the ones prior here. I mean, obviously you see this body here, smallest body has the biggest body candle, I would say, between these three. So something like really off here in this volume, in this area, they're really playing it weird. And then, you have this one that kind of matches, I would say, has probably 40% more than previous here. So does it match between these two? Yes, but does it compare well to the others? There's an anomaly, right? And I'm on 3 minutes only. But this candle here matches. This here is a go. Where the problem starts is where? This is where your eyes should be like, okay, something's wrong.
The candle after this. So same size as the previous one, but volume is way too huge.
You have this one and this one. This is a volume anomaly. Something should signal in your head immediately, hey, what's going on? Why are you guys not following up with the effort? Then
they're selling off the next 3 days.
Well, this is 3 minute candle, so I don't know about 3 days.
Is that manipulation?
Okay, but they were
talking?
selling those next 9 minutes for a sell.
Yeah. No, I just didn't want somebody assume I'm on daily chart. No, it's 3 minutes. So now I'm looking at this, and then comes even smaller body candle, right? I would say, but with no bottom wick, only top wick, right?
Yep.
And I just want to watch this now. Does everybody understand how this is formed on the call? It's okay if you don't. This is how this candle is formed.
No, please
initially,
explain.
you open a lot of buying, then comes the buyers being what? Exhausted.
Sellers, isn't that like the hammer, or it's like a downward hammer?
This is called a gravestone doji. This one particular one, but it doesn't matter. The candle types. It could be a hammer. It could be a pin bar. As long as you have, your body should be proportionally to the rest of the candle, only about 10% to 15% for this to work, right? For it to confirm everything else. But now we're just focused. Does everybody understand the formation? You have buying, then you have selling. At one point, where was the body of this candle?
At the top.
All the way up.
Yeah, this candle at one point looked like literally like this.
Yes.
And then?
And then the selling came,
this,
the sellers came and pushed it all the way down.
So what this tells you here is there a lot of buying right here?
No.
No. But then what's this one here?
Would that be manipulation?
No, it's called topping volume. This means you're going to sell off from this level. Let's take a look. I'm live now, so let's See what happens. You came here, this level. Did you break it with a lot of volume here? I would say for
No.
this time of the day that we're in, it's 10 o'clock. I would say that's a pretty decent volume increase compared to the buying volume, at least.
Yeah.
Only one candle had more volume on buying in this session from here. And then look at the buying effort to go above it. The match is almost the one that's breaking, right?
Yeah.
You guys agree?
Yes.
Okay, I would say I would agree with this. Between these two volume and this one, fairly the same. So same effort, and you got the same result. I would say candle is very close, maybe a little bit smaller on buying here. But at least you know now, there's probably a low chance on this run up right now that we're not gonna close above this candle right here. And what I would do is if you get opportunity to go here, I would short it. Just off of price action, I would short it right here.
Yeah.
So can you kind of highlight that the second longest red candle? So what is that? That's
This one right
buying
here.
stopping us from going to red? Yes.
No, they're still selling. They're still selling here. There was buyers that came in here. They came in here, and then it took them 4 candles to take this candle out of buying to push these sellers off. 1, 2, 3, and the fourth one broke the high of this candle.
The line that you have drawn on the top, the horizontal one, that's the PD value area high as well.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So it tells you there's a little bit of interest at this level, right? So that's good. And you see the range you're in. I mean, I don't know who's trading at night or not, but when you come here, it's probably an easy short. And if you look at the volume, you know, even from the session today towards the end of the day, if you just highlight the balance, you know, we talked about balance multiple times. If you just highlight that, look. I would say you got into it, and then you really quickly sold off. And I could even get a little bit more accurate here. So the value area low of that is right there. If you break that, then you have a chance to go up here. They broke inside, set a little trap, and then peaked down. Okay, does this help anyone? Do you guys find it useful at all?
It does.
Yes.
Okay, because during the day, this can help you guys a lot, especially when you're running, you know, the opening drive. When you have the opening drive, it can really tell you a lot, especially after the 935 candles. After you start looking kind of like right here, you know, you can put a story together off of this. You know, you had a red candle, and then, you know, your body's got smaller compared to the opening one, the volume, and then you see an uptick in green volume here. You know, the body of the candle goes from this to this. So once you broke this level, it's probably good to go long on that level, and I think we were long at that level right here.
Shorty, opening drive, could you explain, I guess, a little bit more about how we identify how high up that would be and so forth typically?
You can't really decide how high up or how high down it will go. Usually you will catch like something called a J curve, like a curve like you did here. And that usually tells you, you know, your opening drive, you opened here. I didn't mean to do that. To grab this. No, you opened the 9:30 New York session right here, right? And then from there, you went down. Usually the rule is especially when you have a sell-off volume like this, is that you should be shorting here, right? But as you're arriving in an opening drive, you need to see some volume anomalies as well. When I say volume anomalies, I would expect to see something as you're approaching, resistance. I want to see a volume anomaly like this, because this gives me a little bit more confluence, to go down. Okay. So if you combine, just looking at open, right? If this is my open here, and this is my open today, I would say initial balance low was set right here. Even though that's, I usually expect initial balance low and high on a normal day to be set by 11:30. So keep that in mind as I'm kind of talking about this. Usually when you have a break of initial balance high or low before that time, you will most likely have a trend day. And if you do some analysis, well, I won't give you the answer. Do some analysis when this happens, right? When you have a short like this, a tight area open, I would say you opened at 38.28, 38.10, 18 points open, right? That's I would say that's a pretty shallow, narrow, I would say open. So usually when you get something like that, look at it and see if it makes sense. When you go up, in what instances do you come back down to fill it? And that only usually happens that coming back to fill it. And this is just me telling you, like a hint that I see, if the initial balance is set prior to 11:30. And it's not a rule. It's not something that you're like, man, it happened, I'm gonna go short right here. No, don't do that. I'm just giving you, like, over the times what happens, and you can keep that in back of your, trading. Like, oh yeah, I'm noticing this, I should be cautious. I'm seeing sellers exhaustion here. I need to be shorting potentially here or on a retest, where I failed to take it here, and I took this here. I took this rejection as well here because this is the sell-off value area low right here. I think it missed it by 50 cents. I think it's 384.175. So it hit here. I trimmed here, and then I said, high chance once you break inside, we're gonna break the low of the day, which once we got in, you broke the opening range high, you rejected, you came to the low of the day, and I honestly thought we're gonna break this, and I had the VPOC at, I think it was 37.88. No, not a VPOC, it was a PDPOC or VPOC, one of the two. 37.88 had it. And I was like, okay, high chance we go there, but they bounced before that. And then they reclaimed October high, October value area high, PD value area high. We are expecting a rejection right here. This is a PD value area high. We expected a rejection and then to follow through, and they broke it and continued on from here. So hopefully just the thought process of how it comes together helps you guys, because some of you guys understand it, but sometimes I don't know. I heard today, like, Shorty, why are you shorting here? Two people commented on that, like, why are we shorting? I just don't know, what is it that you're not seeing? We had a level right here, 38.66, I believe, and a half. Or it was right on that we had a level for shorting. So this was the level, that you're expecting sellers to see, and they created a double lower high, double top.
Yeah, it was
So I mean, this is to be our
38.67.
range, right? If you guys think about balances, if this is to be our balance, we made a lower high here. And remember, if you're in a range and like you are here, if you're making a lower high in there, it's a sign that you're probably going to go to the bottom of the range, if you guys recall that.
You tapped it
You guys
twice.
remember that? When you have a range, and I mentioned this a few times to you guys. You guys recall this? Anyone? I said, if you're going to the bottom, and let's say here, you're making a higher low. If you come back here, highly that you're going to go to the top of this range if you're making higher lows. And the same stands true, if you're at the top and you're failing here, that, you could probably short the resistance of the previous peak, something like this. Shorted on this peak here. Maybe I drew the peak the wrong way. like short this. If you see it short, and most likely it's going to go to the bottom of that range. Because it's telling you, you know, in this case, what the buyers are exhausted to get it to the top. In this case, the sellers are exhausted, and you know the buyers are pushing price and making higher lows. It's fairly simple when this happens. You could use price action. You could use your favorite triangles, whatever you want to use. But usually that means you're going to go up. And somebody keeps writing something called spring. Spring happens literally right here, like you kind of identified. So you had this. If this is our range being set, this is the spring right here. And they drove it back inside. But usually that means they have to go to the top here. Are they able to get there yet? Not yet. They've had lower highs ever since. They made a higher high here, and they're unable to hold it right now.
Yep.
Okay. So hopefully, you know, it helps some of you guys, at least what you're seeing here, to understand the concept of it.
3 minute, wasn't that a failed auction? The bottom.
Where?
At what?
Oh, this? Oh, yeah.
30.
Definitely failed auction here. Yeah. They'll come back.
Is this what constitutes like a typical day or an extended typical day?
Today's session? Or you talking about the one that happened?
Well, I mean, if it didn't go back up like it did, that's definitely not typical.
This was looking like a trend. Well, it started off as a trend day. The only thing is that the open, we didn't continue higher. We dipped to low a little bit, and then we kind of went higher from there. I would say this was probably a double distribution day.
Double distribution, okay.
So you had value here. And I would say then you had also, you created a range right here. And it seems like as soon as you dropped, you brought it back in, then you hit it in here. So I don't know how the volume profile, if it agrees with me or not, but let's see. I will go up to here. What do you guys think? It does not have a normal bell curve here. So this is not D-shaped volume profile.
Yeah, that's wicked.
Everybody get that? Or what would you guys expect to see in a D-shape?
Majority of the volume node to be larger at where the POC is.
Yeah, I would want to see a normal distribution. I would want something to look like, you know,
big P or little B.
I want it to look like this, where it's filled and rounded, and you know you see that this structure is
like a
fairly
big
bad,
belly.
and there's gaps in between, which is called distributions in between. You have an activity here, you don't have anything here. You have an activity here, which we, you know, carried a little bit on the way down, and then you came back to the POC, you broke it, you went to the next one, and I'm pretty sure even if you just drew up to here, it would be giving you those bellies as well, like it is here. So immediately it's telling you drop here, you have an area to come up to here, and that would have been good. You know, next one, next, and so on. Yep, good question.
I'm sorry, what does the POC means?
Point of control.
Who's asking?
Then.
POC is your point of control. Point of control is where the highest volume was traded at that time, or it depends how we're looking at the volume profile. Are you familiar with volume profile much?
I'm still new to the trading.
Oh, okay. Very good.
Welcome.
So if you look at the volume profile, this is the session of volume profile. If you look at this, for instance, you have a couple of things on the chart, right? So you have the profile high, which is set right here, which is basically your day high. People call it in the volume world profile high, and then you have the profile low, which is here. And sometimes the bottoms, I won't go into it too much, but they give you an idea What did they give you here, BJ or somebody?
Always wanted to play
What
the
can
market.
they tell you here at the ends of the volume profile? What information did they give you at the end of the day?
Where the price is going to
CK.
go.
Are you saying the gray part?
No, the ends of the volume profiles. What information did they give you?
The
volume of highs and lows.
No, they're giving you something very specific, guys.
Top and
I
bottom.
mentioned this before.
Top and the bottom.
Where there's less volume. Your low volume zones.
Acceptance and rejection.
So they tell you they are outside that standard deviation 1 and the low volumes.
Guys, they tell you if there's a failed auction or not. If you have a smoothed volume profile like you do here, you guys see this? Smaller, smaller, smaller. Poop. It closes the way it should look like a volume profile. When you have a failed auction, you have a sharp end to it. Like this. And we somehow tended to come back to that. Right? We visit that failed auction. And here you also have a failed auction. Here, I wouldn't say, you're getting there, but you'll be able to tell this that occurs a lot. Let me see. Like for instance, this one here. You see how there's a difference between this volume profile and, for instance, this one. There's a difference there. How it closes. If it's a sharp cutoff, that means there's a failed auction. If you ever heard of market profile charting, market profile is the one that cares about that. Okay. So hopefully it seems like a lot of you guys picked up something new about volume profile. And then the volume profile, well, the structure is here. So if you have a chance, I suggest you go over this. So you have the volume point of control, you have the value area high and the value area low. The whole area, are you familiar with the bell curve and statistics at all?
I know.
You are or you're not?
I'm not.
Okay, so you have a standard deviations of something, like how does it fall in the norms of a standard deviation? Your first standard deviation of the bell curve is 68.2. So 34, 34 to either side of the deviation. And that's what the value area is of the volume profile. That means 68% of the volume was traded in this area. Okay, following so far?
Yes.
Okay, so the extreme on the upside is called value area high. Same thing, just add the word high after it. The bottom of that value area is called low. And then these levels become, and people in this group will know, they become pivotal for bounces, rejection, support levels. And there's certain setups that we play, kind of around these. And then the point of control, the red line here, is where the highest concentration of volume was basically for that day. So if you go back, for instance, for the day right here, like today that we already finished, not the current one that we're starting, you see this area right here. If you highlight kind of like a normal distribution around and grab a few bars up and down, you see how much price action occurred in here? Here, 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 here. That means a lot of activity, a lot of shares, or, in this case, contracts of ES was traded here. So this becomes a natural magnet for the price to return to, and, when it goes away from it, it's going away from the standard deviation, up or down. So here we know that it went up to the, outside of first standard deviation. It went above it. Popped above it, got rejected again. Then we dropped below it, the standard deviation here. We bounced, at open right there, even though we will not have this value, for the same day here. But Here you broke it, you came back, quickly as buyers find more value to be inside here. So now we're doing a pattern, that we trade a lot. It's called 80% rule here. So we never went above it. We currently never went above it, but here there's probably a high chance that we're at some point tonight going to be at 38.11. I think that might happen in the next 2 hours. So and when I suggest you take this PowerPoint and just kind of review it, and if you have questions, I'll be glad to help you answer it. And we as a community, I think, will bring you up to speed on this. So.
Okay, and you said it's in Discord somewhere. We can grab that PowerPoint.
Yep, I'll tag it right now.
Thank you.
There you go. All right, guys, let's take a look. Just see, if anything worthy right now to notice besides what we covered. So the 7-day POC, we hit it pretty much on a penny, and I'm not sure if that POC is still there. So we'll check real quick. Let's see. So what did he do? Show arguments? How did he? Who knows where the thing is? Is it here? No. Dumpster and sleep. There's a way he showed me today. Forgot. To show the name of this thing. So I know what the hell I'm looking at.
Oh,
so this
yeah,
is.
let's take a look. It's the indicator arguments.
Where is it?
Right click, indicator argument.
Ah, okay. All right, good. Man, it gives you a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot of crap.
They give you source for this to shorten this name now. Okay.
No, you
so
either get the PvP short version or you've got the arguments on, and then you get the long version.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. So here I'm just looking that, obviously the 7-day POC shifted down, but I know this is also November POC here as well, which is still early. So the 7-day POC, since we just started, was there at one point, and it seems like it shifted. All right, so if you guys take a look here, let me see all these lines that I have real quick. So the POC is right here right now. So it was right here, and now it shifted down. So what does that mean? Anyone? Like, what does it mean? It shifted down. So what? Why is it important?
There's momentum.
Dr. D, he's awake.
What's that?
There you go. Let's see. It is correct. So if you're able to push the volume POC, even though remember, the law of averages, we're pushing it down, but it's early in the month. It's almost like when you're in school and you have, let's say you get 3 Fs and you have one more test. There's a really low chance, actually no fucking chance, you can walk out with an A in that class. Okay, so it's the same thing here. We still, even though the 7-day POC is there, don't put so much weight on it. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, oh my God, 7-day POC is here. Well, we just started. This one is going to finish soon, especially when it's November POC. We are beginning of the November. We are not even halfway there. So hopefully it makes sense what I'm saying, but don't put so much emphasis on developing stuff. Even though I had it, it worked. It's just the beginning of the month, but we hit it, and we hit some, key levels from the left side as well when you compare it on the volume profiles, and then the lows of the day or whatnot. But don't be, don't think that it's so much importance when it's developing. It's not. Okay, so here nothing really changed. So we have a cluster right here. This level is going to be pretty hard to break, seems like. So 38.30, they're going to try to hold this guy. And you see that there's a lot of activity here. So, and how's the price action here? Anyone typically want to trade this?
No.
Yeah, this right here is going to be probably where we are tomorrow, at some point where we're going to spend 4 hours. So should you trade if you're in a green zone? here that I'm highlighting? Probably
No.
not. You do not want to be trading in here. Okay. Once you break that level, once you get back inside the October value area high, things will change, right? So this volume here looks fresh. You know, they're developing same thing, much larger supply here. But how would you guys know if this supply here is much stronger for buyers versus sellers on volume profile? How would you guys know?
Use the fixed volume tool.
Good job. Yep, we would use fixed volume tool, and I'll just grab from here to this low right here, and I'll be able to know which way is it going. You know, is it strong on up or down? So now if I look at the sell-off here, I'm just looking from here to here, and you can move this a little bit because this is accumulation right here. If you look at this level right here on this whole sell-off, so I'm grabbing this accumulation period. Why am I grabbing this? If I'm looking for sell-off, why am I grabbing this prior to the candle?
You want to know where are the sellers?
I want to know where they accumulated, guys. Right? I mean, the key is after accumulation, that you come back to that point and that we can short it from there. So this is called the volume accumulation bear setup. You accumulate it from this level and look where you rejected. Is it almost to a penny? Yeah, it's right there.
I have a question. I'm new, but I'm using the value profile on Thinkorswim. So is there a way to figure out the accumulation using it here on the Thinkorswim platform?
I use Thinkorswim as well. The only thing it doesn't have is the most important thing. It's the fixed volume profile. So you can tell accumulations because there's a variable one. And I can hold a class and if you guys need it on Thinkorswim. So what you can have on Thinkorswim, and I give you guys a study for both, I believe, for both volume profiles in Thinkorswim. This one is showing, do you know what variable volume profile is? Like visible range variable?
No.
So you see what I'm seeing on the chart right now from candles perspective? I'm seeing from October 13th to current day, right? Notice that?
Mhm.
So this volume profile that's on the right, that you see it here, is only calculating what I'm seeing here. That's why it's called visible. Whatever is visible on the screen is what it's calculating. So, but when I want to look at something specific, can you make it work? Yeah, it's just going to require a lot of zooming, and Thinkorswim is, you know, not the easiest tool sometimes to use tools like this. So like right now, I'm seeing visible range, you know, from these candles, and I could quickly do that. You know, just look at this the same way, and then here I get the identical profile here. It's just that Thinkorswim doesn't have this left side, only has the right side, and it becomes a little bit annoying to use. You have to be a little bit more patient. And yeah, I'm patient enough for trading. I don't know if I'm patient enough for the tools.
And Shorty, what are you using for the charts?
Say it again.
For reading all these charts, what do you use? I use the Webull free app, but I'm not sure what everyone else uses it.
I use TradingView. I use chart. I use TradingView.
TradingView is the best,
This
man.
website here.
Is that something you have to pay for, premium?
I buy it, honestly. I buy it every year. They just give you like a November promotion. I think it's $300. Don't quote me on this. Like $300 for a full year, and I have the premium, where it's like, I believe, unlimited indicators. I think they have versions like they will soon in November, actually coming up. I don't know how much everyone
I
pays.
pay
Like $10,
$14,
maybe not even.
Yeah, I pay
Your-
$14 for it.
I think your subscription was like 150 something bucks I bought, but it was like the Pro, I think, Pro Plus. It wasn't one of the higher ones where you get more, but it's one of the decent ones most people get. And it was about 150 bucks for a year.
Yeah, let me see. Yeah, I pay annual premium. I don't know how much I pay. Next payment, $5.99, November 3rd. I honestly don't think I paid this much. I think I paid like $3.60 here. And then I buy a couple of data points to get the live data, and that's it. But I'm pretty sure that there's, let's see.
I pay 14 bucks a month.
So you can buy Pro,
Yeah.
$12.95, Pro Plus, and then you can buy Premium, which is this. And
Yeah, that's about one I got Pro. You can see the yearly up under it.
Yep. So you can do this. I mean, $2.99, and I can get this, you know, for $3.60. You know, $70 more. I don't know. I don't know what else do I get extra.
And I think Catching Rockets gets his free because he gets everybody to get under his code.
Oh, I didn't know they had that.
Some
Yeah.
kind of when you require people to sign up, you get like a discount.
Yep. Okay. So setups wise, so hopefully that helps. Sorry, I didn't mean to kind of move on, but so this was our previous shift on 7-day POC, previous and November POC shifted down. So that means it's bearish, right? It means that we are taking the volume is becoming lower and accumulated at a higher point here. So the same thing I can check now from earlier when I saw that, you know, 7-day balance. I can go from the right side, right? And you can find a good point. You know, if I go from here to see where it exploded, I'll probably go from here to see where the buyers were, you know, mostly active. And the majority of the buyers were sitting at 37.44. So, you know, if you're to look at the tape, as you approach this level, what would you guys expect to see on the tape? Meaning, you know, on market auction theory. As you approach this level, you're probably going to see like a little bit of a buyers sitting there passively. So that means they're going to come back to this level, and what they're going to do?
Defend it.
They're going to bounce because they're going to protect it.
They're going to protect the level because, hey, I put in a couple of $1 million here. I want my couple of $1 million to make a little bit more millions. So they're going to be like, okay, well, let's just buy some here. And then another concept that happens, if it's true, let's say, you know, Earth is short here, a couple of $1 million. Well, let's say Earth entered $10 million short position here. Earth, what would you do if you came here on a couple of $1 million and you just made 100 points on ES? If you're short here, what do you do here?
You buy there.
You buy there. But me and you are not short, but we know a lot of buyers are here. So what would we do here?
You buy too.
You sell. Take profit.
No.
Short covering.
We're going to buy there because we're
First,
anticipating that bounce.
Close the position.
There's a scenario I'm trying to give you guys. Scenario A, Earth short from 38.40. Okay. Scenario 2, Shorty missed short, wants long. Accumulation happened 37, what is it, 40, call it. So now think what happens. As Earth is short here, and we're coming right here, Earth is going to start buying back. Because if you're short negative 10 contracts, in order to go to zero, what do you have to do?
You have to buy 10 contracts.
You have to buy 10 contracts. So now I'm participating in what? I'm participating in defending the level.
Yeah.
But I'm also participating in defending the level with who? With Shorty, because he wasn't short. He knows there's a lot of buyers here, so he's going to join them. So the guy from the second scenario and the guy from the first scenario are helping you here. This guy in the first one, he's scared that we're going to get a bounce, so he's buying to cover. And the second guy, he's just going along to make money to go along with the buyers. You have to understand this concept, guys. It's important that you do, at least. Does everybody understand this?
Yes.
Wow. Yes.
Did you
Yes.
know this? Did you understand this before?
I told that before. Yes.
Yeah.
No, I didn't know before.
No.
Good. Because it's an important concept to understand. It's, especially when you pair it with bottom volume and, volume profile, it becomes really, really dangerous. Like for trading, you become really successful at understanding where you should buy and sell. Okay, so let me just adjust these levels a little bit. And then, the daily levels that we're updating right now, they're important. We play 80% rule off of that. If you're not familiar, just you read the, where's my PD value area low? Oh, here, different color. Is that what you guys have? 3, 8, 4, 7, 25. Okay, we're headed to PDPOC here, just right now. We're about to go there. So, reverse trading, you have that level there. 3820 psychologically important has been a good level to know. Okay, so now if I want to quickly check, off of this bounce right here, I know this was the level that triggered it. And we went through that level lower and tried to bounce. I'm sure you're crazy. So now we can probably anticipate, to go to this POC right now here and dump. Good stuff. Okay. So that's the main levels for me. Tomorrow we really need to dip below. I don't know how this 80% rule, if you're going to get to live it tomorrow. If we open below October value area high, that's a fairly big deal, guys. And if we break the opening range today, that's something you guys should kind of pay attention to, this level right here. If you're able to break this level inside, I'm telling you the sentiment that they had to run it, getting weaker. And then, the opening range low of the New York session, keep that in mind as you're trading as well, right here. So keep the I'll probably put this right here. So 3,800. Once we lose it, high chance we're going to continue down. This is not a bad target. If we decide to sell off, 37.65 is good. September value area low, we've hit this multiple times. And then I ultimately think we're still inside the October range. So this right here is your October range. It's a pretty insane range if you guys ask me. 200 points is pretty good for a month of October here. So let's see how we open, and we'll know the key levels here, but I would expect us to come back here to this VPOC from yesterday. Okay.
So this live chart, Shorty, you're looking at, it just runs 24/7 or something for this thing?
Yeah, this is futures. So futures run from Sunday 6 p.m. To Friday. Yep, Friday 8 p.m. I'm sorry, Friday 5 p.m. So Sunday 6 p.m. we open. We're only closed on Saturday. So Friday we close at 5. Saturday you're closed, and then Sunday at night 6 p.m. you open again. So we trade futures a lot. At least I do. There's no time decay. There's no theta, so you don't have to be right on the timing a lot of times, but you have to be right on the direction. And once you nail that, you can make some decent money. So like if you trade MES or ES, depends. Like if you trade this and you put, let's say 1 ES, so every tick is $12 and make some decent money there.
And a tick is 25 cents.
That's true. Okay, so and from levels perspective, yeah, sure. Like honestly, nothing changed, guys. Not in the market, big in the big, scheme of things, nothing literally changed here. So I don't need to pound my head of the levels. Nothing really changed yet. I mean, what changed here? You made a higher high, and you're kind of back inside, and now you have, I know it's early, but you're printing a nasty candle here. So nothing really changed. We're still here. Volume went up. There's a volume anomaly on a daily. So nothing great here. So let's see tomorrow how we do here. If we dump here tomorrow, then I've seen this scenario play out before, where you have uptick and then a big red candle. And if you look at ES, you'll be able to find those patterns repeat a lot. So think about it when you're trading, please start adding the idea of volume and the effort it took. I promise it will help you change your game on trading, honestly. And I'm going through some stuff from in a cooling book for you guys, and I'm putting this together. So for newer people, it starts with this, understanding the buying, the lower pressure, and then on volume profile, adding kind of like volume price analysis. I'm adding the terms that we are using, like bearish volume, bullish volume anomaly, stopping. I should probably add topping volume as well. And buyer sellers exhaustion. I'll give you guys examples quickly from the book of kind of what's important from there. And hopefully guys gives you an idea or kind of intrigues your curiosity to keep learning on it, and because it's never ending thing that you're doing. So here it covers the examples of volume, how the volume should look like, vice versa. So hopefully you guys find it helpful. I'll upload this version right now.
Do you guys or anybody trade like Tesla, anything like that for options?
Yep. Yeah, we trade Tesla. I think there was people that took Tesla short. I was short in Tesla with 215s and 225s for this week. And then I got tired because it was not moving at one point. I was short here, somewhere here, I believe. No, it wasn't here. It was above. Oh, it was here. Actually, it was here. I was short somewhere around here. Right here. I was short right here somewhere. It went up and then it kind of moved like crap. And then obviously the rest is history. We do the analysis on Tesla. I mean, any stock you guys want to talk about, cover, we can cover. Me, when I trade, I personally don't need too many levels. If the combo, which we call, the Apple, Microsoft, Tesla, Amazon, Google, if those five are moving together, if the chart's moving in a direction, Tesla is just going to be usually moving along with it. And the market showed strength today. Did anyone see strength from Tesla today? So for instance, here's
So far, though. I guess I got panicked. I saw all the puts, or sorry, the calls this morning when it dropped so fast.
yeah, we had the same pattern, right? So they want to freak you out on this as much as possible so they can buy it cheaper. But this was what we were looking at Tesla when we were shorting Tesla. Do you guys recall this? When we charted this, the range, when we covered the top and bottom SSL high and low, we said that this is setting up for potential dump all the way to the bottom. We broke below, you came back for a retest, and you're not even able to hold the spring from the last one that you had. So here you bounced off the spring, you went to the top, and now you're failing. There's probably a high chance you're going to bounce back here soon to 203, and then Tesla is going on a journey to 158. Is that the level? I believe it is 158. We're going to 158.
So, Shorty, so if you do a visible range profile on this one, so I see like below 188, there is no volume until 160. Is that why you said like 160 is the good area to buy?
I'm personally not buying here. Like this is going to be the area where there's going to be buyers.
Okay.
I honestly think I'm gonna get an entry below 100 on it, so I'm not gonna buy any shares till then. This would be my area that I'm interested in buying.
Okay.
I
But
wanted to initially, but not anymore.
okay, but I'm using the visible volume profile. So from 180 till 160, I don't see a lot of volume. So
I would
that
say 152.
okay.
This little tiny volume here, probably nothing. So here, let me show you where this volume came. This volume never came from here to here. This volume came on this run. Look at the volume here. Remember, I'm on the weekly candles. Look at the volume here.
No.
Shouldn't we just talked about the effort and the result? You have a big candle, a lot less volume, much, same size or maybe even bigger. I would say a bigger candle here. Let's see if I'm right. Smaller candle here, but also smaller volume here drastically. So here, and then you have a big candle here, twice as much volume, same candle. Then you have a candle that's twice as less volume. So here, this volume is not going to do anything. They got to fill all the way down. 150s,
Yeah,
But I
I
would
heard
say
they announced the Elon's already started selling this week, I guess, for 19 point something million shares.
yeah, what did I tell you guys about 4 weeks ago? What is Elon going to do? Did I tell you guys he's going to be selling very actively?
Is
I
that
thought
through the pressure
he
through
was
the
supposed
Twitter deal?
Yeah, he just needed liquidity, and I think either I was given wrong dates by somebody, one of my friends, and that he was supposed to announce this last Wednesday. Based on the clearance and based on the block period in Tesla, that he was supposed to announce this on Wednesday. I guess there's a reason why he didn't. So, I mean, my 225 puts on Tesla would have done great on this news tomorrow, and even now, there would have been 225 and 215. So I was pretty heavy in.
I think he did the opposite, Shadi. So he said 5 billion to 10 billion shares buyback, and then it went up, and then he sold at the top.
Well, yeah, he set himself up, and I honestly, I knew it. I knew that he was doing it. I don't know. Does anyone remember me explaining that he was driving the stock up so he can sell more shares? I don't know if you guys remember it. Yeah, I just didn't trust
Yeah, I was
myself.
on Shorty. I remember
It pisses me off, but
I
I
remember
got
you
played.
said to short under 220.
Yep, it was this one.
Hi, Shorty. I see that you are referring a chart while discussing these matters. So where is the chart?
Tesla?
Yeah, Tesla chart.
I'm sharing my screen. Are you able to see it?
No. How can I get to your screen?
Let's see if catching rockets can help you.
Yeah, you just click on his name, or right next to his name it says live. You can click on that, and then click on watch screen.
Watch. Okay. Okay, I see it.
Hey,
Thank you.
yeah, scroll to the bottom where the orb chatter is. And
Yeah, I see.
I just can't click on myself to watch. So, but I should watch myself.
No, he's got it.
I got it. Thank you.
Yep. So yeah, all the charts are there. Usually failed auctions get revisited cash flow. So what that means, if you think about those auctions you see on TV, if the guy stutters at a certain price and he doesn't get any, interested buyers in a regular auction on a stock market, if there's no buyers at $25, and then they say again, hey, $25, what do they have to do to the stock price?
Change it.
They have to lower the
Lower it?
price to see if there's more
Lower
demand.
it.
So the price goes, okay, I don't mean to cover all of this right now, but since the price, what does it do? It goes to see in a discovery where is their buyers? Should we go lower to find more buyers, right? The lower you go, the more buyers you should find. It's just that we're trading to find, guys, remember, in the stock market, you know, a lot of you guys sometimes lose yourself. This is the hedge funds, the markets. Me and you, right there.
Yeah.
Do you guys see us? That's us.
Barely.
You cannot move the market. We have to go with the big sharks. So that's why the volume profile is so important, guys. It's volume profile, VPA, and just understanding the structures, right? Understanding the reversals along with topping, bottom volume, exhaustions, and knowing where the buyers are going to defend their levels will make your life as a trader that much more easier. And this happens, guys, every single day on every single time frame. Obviously, the smaller the time frame, I would say the more risk it carries, because a lot of people don't combine the time frames with the risk and the profit. And why people say 0DT is so dangerous is because retail wants to take a 1 minute chart and they want to hold for 1500%. No, like even today, the 3850s, guys, we got them at, I believe I got them at 2. I think few of you guys got it 1.9, 1.7. I don't know what all levels you guys got it.
Yeah.
But we were able to quickly almost make 100% on that, and that's okay for me. How long were we in a trade for? Maybe 4 minutes, 5 minutes.
Yeah, about
100%.
4 or 5
That's
minutes.
okay, but the contract ended up running to 36. If your account's large enough and you can hold these levels, you can definitely do that. But since you're doing like a small account to grow it to big account, I can't bet on me, making 1200% in a trade, but I'll be glad to take my investment and double it and do it again over and over and over. Not only will it teach you the proper growth of an account, but you create good habits. A lot of you guys are basically digging your grave deeper and deeper because your bad habits are being rewarded by you doing the same shit over and over. And I hate to say it, but don't fucking do that, because your habits of being bad are gonna continuously get stronger. And to climb out of that, it's gonna be hard. And I would say you will be part of the 95%. Don't take it the wrong way, but just telling you that. Stop with the bad habits. So
it takes time.
A lot of you guys are living sometimes like, honestly, you're the biggest gambler I've ever seen. You make $200-300. Today I saw the family that the house burnt down, and the guy's a hardworking guy. There's a couple of them, like 2 families living there, and they have to. I mean, based on seeing them, they work night and day to provide for their kids. They're in private schools, really good school districts. And the dad said, man, I just have to keep working for the kids so they can go to these schools. So if I was to tell the guy, like that guy that lives there, and I'm like, hey, man, I was up today $1,200. I was in a trade for 45 minutes. Do you think I would shock him?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he'd be blown away, guys. For some of you guys, maybe you have good jobs. Your W-2 is giving you a little bit of money and you don't have expenses. You're good at managing that, but you're really bad at managing this as a business. You're just managing this as a fucking hobby, and you just want to, hop around and hope you learn. But think about the effort and the result. There's people that don't put any fucking effort into learning how to trade, but they want what? They want Lambos. They want to show off. They want the role. They want to live the luxury life. How many people do you guys have you ever seen a super wealthy person show off?
We're conservative.
Some, but most of them are humble.
Guys, you
No. You would never
most
know
rich people that I know, one of the guys that I know, he's really rich. he still has his original car before he became rich.
Yeah.
It's a Toyota Celica. I don't even think they make them anymore.
Wow, that's old.
Yeah.
They don't make them.
And what do you think he drives daily?
The
I think
Toyota.
that car is from like the 90s.
I mean, it looks brand new. I mean, he's a little bit older, but he still drives the same fucking Toyota Celica every day. And he shows up, you know, to the Whole Foods and buys food there and goes in his little Celica. You would never know that he's sitting on like $280 million cash.
That's why he's wealthy.
You would never imagine that he's a quarter billion rich. His other car is just an F-150. I mean, it's like one of those King Ranch versions that he swears is the best car ever. So hopefully, guys, you have to put some more effort if you're not. And don't lie to yourself. You listening to me but not spending time on the screen is not effort, guys. You should, you know, if it doesn't make sense, you should be able to replicate what we were talking about, finding yourself and test it. See, does it work? You see it 5 times work and you're like, okay, I would have taken a trade there. I didn't. Well, now it's time to test the waters. Don't just go, oh, Shorty's in, I'm in. Man, are you still in? It's not the question you should be asking. Like, you need to know, why are you in? Where's your risk to reward? Like, how much are you willing to lose? You gotta accept that loss first before you take the profit. So hopefully the newer people, you know, give yourself patience, guys. You will never learn trading in a month. I mean, if you do and you can take an account from 100K to from 1,000 to 100K, if you can do that, man, you're a special genius. You should open a hedge fund.
Bless you.
You will not learn trading in a month, sometimes not 2 months. You're going to continue learning until you're alive in trading, if that's what your professional job will be. Because the market evolves, changes, and you need to too.
A question: if I'm new to this, do I just scroll all the way up to the trading 101 section and start from there?
I would suggest that you start with this. I had a really good video. Well, I say I had a really good video. People said I had a really good video last week when we did the Discord, but basically we covered this for beginners. So go to that video, kind of watch this, look at the volume profile, start adding on your charts, right? Because you have to kind of practice it to see it, to understand it. Start adding a little bit more, and then, you know, I usually say if you're new to volume profile and new to trading volume profile, it will be 3 months before you're going to be like, something will click. And for people that trading clicked for, I promise they don't know how to explain what changed.
No, you can't
Something will
explain.
click in your head, and I don't know how to explain it. It just makes sense, and you just keep doing what makes sense.
If that
I would
was
suggest what
if
Can
that
I
was
do a shitty job explaining what changed for me, just for new people? Because I joined like a month back.
Yeah, go ahead.
And I'm
please.
still doing paper trading, and like most of the time, something that changed for me is before I used to trade, it was all based on alerts. Now I know what is my plan, why I'm going into my trade, what is my risk, and what is my target. And I put it there before I go to sleep. When I wake up in the morning, either the stop loss is hit or my target is hit. That's it. Simple. No emotions. Volume
great.
profile, what Shorty tells us, that teaches us how the market is working other than putting a trade and hoping. That's my explanation of this.
I would suggest you watch
That's
all
really,
the
really good.
Catching Rockets videos. Catching Rockets videos are very, very educational.
So if that was
On
Vin,
vol-
if that was Vin that was asking, I tagged you in the video Shorty did on Sunday, where he went over how he used volume profile and all of that. So I tagged you in the main chat. and link the video.
Thank you. And the video that for the Sundays, that's on YouTube
Yeah.
channel.
Yeah, but I actually like linked the video and tagged you in the main chat.
Yeah, I see it now.
And if you go to videos,
Go to main chat and you'll see it there when.
yeah.
Okay. All right, guys. Here, I think we're headed to PDPOC. So if anyone took that short from a couple of minutes ago since we started, you could have been banking by now. So,
Look at that drop.
about 12 to 13 points maybe on ES. All right, guys. Well, I think that's it for me. So I'll catch you guys tomorrow. I don't think I'll be live tomorrow, but let's see how it'll be really, really tricky to play tomorrow, believe it or not. If they give us range, that's going to be great. Do not be greedy tomorrow. That's all I'm going to tell you. If you're up a little bit, take that a little bit tomorrow, because tomorrow is probably going to be, if you thought volatile was today, wait till you see tomorrow. Because the news are going to be flooding tomorrow. And then if they give you a push up tomorrow, like if they give a nice push up, Thursday can be the slap down. If there's any bad news about CPI on Thursday, it's going to be sell off Friday. So I would not be surprised if it's bad CPI. We're going to be right here by Friday, potentially. 36.11.
I'll be banking then.
That's where the max pain is also for this week.
At 360?
Yeah.
That'd be interesting. Where is that where the gamma is too, or where's the wall?
Yeah, that's what I saw.
Oh.
Like last week it was 381, and we all know what they did. Friday, they pumped it to that level, and then they dropped it. So this week I see 360. So let's see.
That'd be interesting. Those are important levels when the wall's there. But yeah, I think tonight, tomorrow morning, we're gonna revisit this failed auction here. We came back here. We had a failed auction there. I think we're gonna revisit this one here. All right, guys. Well, hopefully you guys picked up something, and we'll see tomorrow how it goes and go from there.
Thanks a lot, Shorty.
Shorty.
Thanks, Shorty.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Shorty.
Thank you. Good night.
Have a good night, everyone.